Hello student, today I am going to explain you the second part of our chapter. This is Jodie's phone. In the first part, we read Jodie's father killed a doe to save his life and doe had a phone which they left in the forest and Jodie was thinking about that phone and took permission to his father and mother to bring that phone at the home. Jody went to forest with Melville. Jody gave himself over to thoughts of the phone. They passed the abandoned clearing. Abandoned means deserted, where no one lived. Jody was overthinking about the phone. They passed the deserted area. Nobody was there. He said, cut to the north, Millville. It was up here that Pa got beaten by the snake and killed the doe, and I saw the fawn. Now Jody said to Millville to turn to north. It was the place where Snake bitten his father, and his father killed the doe, and he saw the fawn there. Suddenly, Jody was unwilling to have Millville with him. But suddenly, Jody did not want Millville with him. If the phone was dead or could not be found, he could not have his disappointment seen. And if the phone was there, the meeting would be so lovely and so secret that he could not endure to share it. There are two reasons why Jody did not want Melville with him. First, if the phone was dead or he could not find the phone, he did not want to show his disappointment. And the second, if the phone was there, the meeting would be so lovely that he did not want to share it with anybody. So he did not want Melville with him. He said, it's not far now, but the shrub is very thick for a horse. I can make it on foot. Now Jody said Melville that the shrub is very thick for a horse, so he will go alone. But I'm afraid to leave you, boy. Suppose you got lost or got bitten by the snake too. Millville did not want to leave Jody. The reason is that if he lost the way or bitten by the snake, I will take care. It might take me a long time to find the phone. If he is wandered, leave me off right here. But Jody said to Millville that he take a long time to find the phone, so requested him to leave him alone. All right, but you take it easy now. You know north here and east. Now Millville is ready to leave Jody and told him about the direction north and east. There and there, that tall pine makes a bearing. He told him a mark of pine tree. So long, Millville, I am obliged. Jody was obliged. He waited for the sound of the hoofs to end. Now Jody waits the sound of the hoofs, the legs of the horse. When the sound of horse fainted, Jody turned to the right. The scrub was still. There was no noise. Only his own crackling of twigs can be heard. He wondered for an instant if he had mistaken his direction. First, Jody surprised that if he had forgotten the direction. Then a buzzard rose in front of him and flapped into the air. Then suddenly a buzzard is a bird like a vulture, fly in front of him. He came into the clearing under the oaks. Now Jody came under the trees of oaks. There is a clear place. Buzzard sat in a circle around the carcass of the doe, and all the buzzards are sitting around the dead body of doe. They turned their heads on their long scrawny necks. Scrawny means thin. Buzzards move their necks on their scrawny or thin long neck and make a hissing sound at the Jody. He threw his bow. Bow is the small branch of a tree at them, and they flew into an adjacent tree. And the buzzard start flying and sat on a next tree. The sand showed large cat prints, but the big cats killed fresh, and they had left the doe to the carrion birds. Jody easily see the footmarks of big cats like lion and tiger, but big cats like lion and tiger killed only fresh meat, so they left the doe to the scavenger birds. He parted the grass at the place where he had seen the fawn. Now Jody saw the grass at that place where he first saw the fawn. It did not seem possible that it was only yesterday, and it was not looking as that it was happened only yesterday. The fawn was not there. Fawn was not there. He circled the clearing. Circled the clearing means he looked everywhere. There was no sound, no sign. There was no noise, and there was no sign. The buzzards clapped their wings. The buzzards was making sound with their wings, impatient to return to their business because they want to come back and want to eat the carcass of the doe. He returned to the spot where the fawn had emerged and dropped on all fours. Now Jody went to that place where he saw the fawn studying the sand for the small hoof prints. Now Jody sat down and watching the sand for the print of small hoofs. The night's rain had washed away all tracks except those of cat and buzzards. Yesterday's rain has washed the marks. There are only the marks of big cats like lion and tiger and buzzards.